first of all, give me a few opening words about last night.
Last night, we were informed again of the deaths of 4 abductees, Chaim Perry, Yoram Metzger, Amram Koper, and Nadav Popplewell. Bless their memories. Which brings us to the number of 124 hostages, among whom we know for sure about more than 5 abductees who are not alive. 124 hostages that a few days ago were 125. And a few days ago, there were 128. And a few days before that, there were 131. And another figure, just after the hostage deal in December, the number stood at 107. And among them, we became aware of people who were recognized as abducted, but whose bodies were identified and also dropped from a list. In 3 that were released in a heroic military operation, a feat we haven't quite been able to recover. Throughout this period, and perhaps since October 7, we have been told that the hostages are an asset in the hands of Hamas. That Yahya Sinwar's strongest card are the hostages. That basically, with a little more military pressure, he would release this asset and give up.
What's the problem? That's something in that statement, an asset in the hands of Hamas, is simply not true.
Our hostages are not an asset in the hands of the murderous terrorist organization Hamas. Because this murderous terrorist organization has no assets. Not Palestinians, and for sure they aren't Israel. A murderous and despicable terrorist organization like Hamas does not have any powerful assets that serve as meaningful to it. We have already realized that this organization is willing to sacrifice its people, women, men, Palestinian children, for its murderous messianic ideology. On the contrary, every further picture of starvation and death in Gaza only adds to the same morbid stress he is trying to produce for his own benefit. So if you give this man, whose name is Yahya Sinwar, he has no empathy for his people all the more, he has no sentiment for us Israelis. Just the sentiment of murdering, slaughtering, burning, and raping. And so our hostages aren't property, nor are they held in the hands of anyone whom you have made a deal with some logical politicians. 120 hostages left for Hamas, and some dead bodies are not Hamas's asset. They are the property of the State of Israel. And the State of Israel is supposed to fight for every one of its precious assets. But the State of Israel is supposed to fight for its assets and not say it doesn't want to watch their videos because they want to sleep at night. The State of Israel and those who claim its leaders are supposed to return those assets and not tweeting about an expected speech in America yesterday while our north is burning. Instead, they could call the families who were just about to be informed that their precious assets would return in Haran. The State of Israel is obliged to return its assets, which were confiscated on October 7 by murderers and rapists. The citizens of the State of Israel are national and civilian property that has been recognized and entrusted to Hamas. For Israel on October 7, they have failed and they are fully responsible, and they will not try to shake off responsibility and invent everyday spins and stories that will impress us or make this fact a routine that can be lived. Because if you think that for a moment we will let you forget our assets, you are seriously mistaken. The images of those alive and the dead will haunt each and every one of you wherever you go. The sounds of demolition of the destroyed houses in Be'eri will echo in your ears, and every time you think of hearing a different tune. And the greatest failure in the history of the State of Israel happened on October 7 under your leadership and no one else's. And this you will not be able to erase from the pages of history. Perhaps you will be able to do while there is still left for those who are alive. It is to write one paragraph, and you will be able to say that the State of Israel, after multiple efforts and having failed once after time, has done everything to bring its sons and daughters back home. Remember, as the agenda is viewed, so too is the country.